Do you want to build a business but you're struggling to find the time? Then this video is for you. Hello and welcome. My name is Kat, and on this channel I talk all about how to build your side business in the most productive and efficient ways. So if that's something you're interested in, just keep watching. So in today's video, I want to share with you my best tips of how to build your business, even if you have a 9-to-5 job or you're a full-time mom looking after your kids all day. So before we start, I would really love to know what is your biggest struggle in finding the time to work on your business. Please let me know in the comments. In my experience, the biggest hurdle when it comes to building a side business is not that we don't have the time, but that we don't have the energy in that time that we have available. For example, after a full day in the office, or if you've ever been hanging out for a whole day with a toddler, you'll know what I mean. So my first tip is about not time management, but energy management. So first of all, figuring out when is your most productive time of the day. Are you the morning person? Is it the evening? Because in the end, you're gonna get more done in 30 minutes in that time than in 3 hours when you're flat and tired after work. So is there a way that you can work during that time? So for example, my daughter didn't sleep through the night until only recently. And I spent 2 years with broken sleep. But in the end, I had to think about, like, do I want to let this go or do I want to do it? And then what can I do? Because I wasn't going to be able to change her sleep anytime soon. So what are the things that I could focus on to have more energy in the day to be able to work on this creative business that I so wanted to do, and I didn't want it to let go of it. So think about what can you do to work your most productive time of the day. Can you work in the mornings before your job, or during the time when baby sleeps, or maybe you have to sleep as well during that time so that you can be more productive then later in the evening. So it's all about figuring out what works best for your individual self and your situation. So my second tip is about inspiration and purpose. Imagine you're like dead tired on a Friday afternoon and all you want is just chill on the couch, and suddenly your phone rings and somebody tells you you won this luxury weekend trip, but you're gonna have to get to the airport right now. Are you gonna tell them that you're too tired and you don't want to go, or are you gonna get up and go? The truth is that we'll always find the time for the things that are important to us and that excite us. So if you're starting a side business just to make money, probably gonna procrastinate when things get hard. At some point, I started a dropship business on eBay, and I was contemplating about doing it on Amazon. And I'm so glad that I stopped it quite early on, because I'm not a details person. So if I think about putting in product descriptions and all this kind of stuff, it makes my head hurt. Ask yourself, why do you want to build that business? Make sure that you build something that is exciting and that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning and you can't wait to work on it. You're so much more likely to succeed as well, because things are going to get hard, and that is what's going to make you keep going. So my third point, make use of technology, because when you have very limited time available, you want to make sure that that time is used in the most productive way. So when you then have that time block where you can work on your business and you start searching through your to-do list and you're trying to figure out like what you need to do next, you're already wasting so much time. I like to just open my phone or my laptop in the morning and I have a clear list of to-dos and what needs to get done that day, so I can straight away jump in and be productive. I used to keep mental notes of everything in my head, and I would get so overwhelmed and I literally had like no headspace. So now I offload everything from my head into the system called Asana. It is literally saving my life and my mind. So for example, when I sit in the car and I remember, oh, I need to do X. I used to just keep this in my head and just keep thinking about it, and then all these other things happen. What I do now, I just pull up this app on my phone, which, you know, you can have Asana on your laptop, on your phone, everywhere. I'll just make a task, assign it to myself for today or for tomorrow, and that way I'm just going to be reminded and I'm not going to forget. I can leave it out of my head, I can think about other things, and I know it's going to be taken care of. So I can only recommend make Asana and your calendar your best friend in achieving your goals, because it'll make your life so much easier. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you exactly how I set that up for myself. So if that's something you're interested in, keep an eye out for that. Tip number 4 is to rest effectively. This is the one that I'm learning about the most, and I've neglected it for most of the time of the 10 years now that I'm running some sort of a side business next to my job, or now being a mom with a part-time job. When you're running a side business, you only have this little pockets of time to work on your business, and it can be so hard to be patient and to accept that things are just going to take longer to achieve. In the past, I would have just worked any free minute that I had on the weekends, in the evenings, whatever I could do. And I would just neglect any social activities, relationships, and in the end, myself and my own well-being. So after all, business is a value exchange, and you can only create value when you have something to give and your own cup is full, essentially. Everything else is just going to lead to burnout over time, and you're going to lose the fire and excitement for your project. So figure out what really recharges you and actively schedule that in. I used to think that this would cost me time, but the opposite is true, because you're going to be so much more productive when you are well rested and inspired again, and you just have so much more energy and ideas. So if you do all the things and you have a business that you're so excited about and that you want to work on, but you still can't find the time, in my experience, it's either one of two things. Either you really physically don't have the time because you have too many responsibilities. Maybe you have small children, and maybe you're a single parent, or other things that are happening in your life right now. And then it's just best to accept this and make that decision that now is not the time and your time is going to come. And then you can let it go and focus on whatever you're doing at the time, and just don't think about it anymore, and it'll come back at a later time. But if that's not the case and you physically have the time, but you just find yourself every time when you get there procrastinating, or you catch yourself coming up with all these excuses as to why you didn't do the thing, I would suggest looking into your subconscious belief system. We all have limiting beliefs from our childhood. Business journey is such a self-development journey in a way, so very likely these things are going to come up. It's quite natural, but I think the question is, ask yourself whether you're ready to let go of those or overcome those, because you want that business success or project that you're working on to come to life more than you want to keep holding on to your old stories and beliefs. I can only recommend to work with a hypnotherapist. I've done that myself, and it's just really amazing how quickly you can overcome these things, and just, don't let them hold you back from doing the things that you want to do. So these are my best tips of how to find the time to build your side business. So to summarize, manage your energy, ask yourself, why do you want to do this business? Use technology to help, don't forget to recharge, and make sure you don't sabotage yourself. Let me know if any of this resonates and what you're taking away from this. I would really love to know, so please leave me a comment and I'll definitely respond to you. So if you enjoyed this video, you'll likely want to watch my next video coming up, where I'll show you exactly how I practically implement these things into my life, so I make sure that they happen. It is so easy to just talk about this and think about it, and then you go about your day and you forget. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe below. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.